Casino Online, and this is...
Hi, I'm Paulie Shultz from Clackamas Community College. I'm a member of the science department and I teach the general biology series. I also teach a year sequence on evolution, modern evolution, and current topics in evolution. And I'm currently teaching a class in collaboration with a member of the English department on African diseases. I have a master's degree in molecular biology from the University of Oregon Institute of Molecular Biology. I actually did research in molecular biology with the lab of Dr. Frank Stahl, who discovered how DNA replicates, and I'm a published author in the field. When I studied for my master's degree, I was actually very fortunate in that I got to do research at Cold Spring Harbor Laboratories in Long Island, New York. It's a very famous research institute run by James Watson, who discovered how DNA replicates. I also did research and worked full-time in the laboratory, as I said, of Dr. Frank Stahl, who discovered DNA. So it wasn't an internship as much as it was a full-blown research, where I ended up publishing a paper dealing with DNA and genetics. And so it was a very rich environment that I'm in constant contact with people that I've worked with all those years ago, even today. I've been teaching at Clackamas Community College for about 6 years now. I'm a full-time faculty member. I started out as a part-time instructor. Prior to that, I used to teach out at PCC, and prior to that, I spent 15 years in the computer industry, which has become very helpful in helping students with projects and teaching, for example, online classes. Where I see the science process and evolution going is the biggest misconception most students have is a misunderstanding about the process of evolution, that it's somehow random, and also a misunderstanding that there is very little evidence supporting evolution. It ends up that, especially in molecular biology, there's an overwhelming amount of evidence in support of that from a genetics point of view, and there's a huge number of fossils. Most people misunderstand this and think that there's just a small amount of evidence, and basically are thinking about stuff that happened over 150 years ago. That's the biggest misunderstanding, and what we're trying to do is educate people with what we currently know. The definition of evolution has changed. In most people's mind, they see evolution as Darwin and some monkey-looking things. Most people don't understand that evolution is happening every day, that it's the basis of modern science, and that evolution is basically the change in frequency of the genes over time, and that they have resulted in what we see today, and that we see these changes with documented evidence for them in our daily lives, and especially in the medical field. Unfortunately, I see less students signing up and studying the sciences than they did a few years ago, except in certain fields like nursing. Nursing it's mostly related to jobs. Nursing has a tremendous amount of jobs and available for students, and so we see a large number of people going into that field. In the general population, we still see, unfortunately, a lack of science knowledge and a lack of exposure to current understandings about science, even though it impacts your daily life in tremendous ways that most people don't even understand. Yes, it continues to evolve as an institution, and what we see is a new president who's, I think, brought some more warmth to the whole college. We see an investment by your faculty and administration that you may not see in technologies to make it easier for the student, and we're continually trying to bring the students up to a level where students can succeed going on to major universities or in their field after they graduate from Clackamas.